Hello, I'm Katre Tiku. I'm talking about indie game social media marketing. I defended my thesis on smart solutions to indie game social marketing last week, and so I'm talking about some of the things that I did, and that could be helpful to you as well. We already discussed about game market. We have a lot of games on the market. Just alone on Steam, last year, 10,696 games were released, which means it is really difficult to stand out with your new game, especially as a new indie developer that no one knows about. If you already have released the game previously, then it might be a little bit easier with your new game, but it's still not guaranteed. Marketing is as essential as your game development because, as Maurice said before, if you can create an amazing game, but if no one knows about it, no one is going to play it. So it can be especially difficult for indies, as I mentioned, because you don't have maybe a publisher or you don't have experience in marketing, and you might have to learn everything from scratch or try to find funding for all the marketing. So one of the more popular places to market your game is social media, but as we saw, it doesn't always give big spikes. It gives you smaller spikes, but it is still quite important to be present there. So it gives you also a chance to go for a wider and more diverse audience, because with events, usually it's just maybe gamers there or specific genre players. But with social media, it sometimes might happen, you get lucky and you also get in front of some kind of a new group of people. But because the social media marketing is so popular, there are a lot of guides. But because social media keeps changing all the time, the algorithms change, then the trends change, the audience already outdated. And also to find information to how to market your indie game on social media can get quite time-consuming to find all the info. So what did I do during my thesis was to, I made a survey. Some of you might have even seen my link on Discord. I shared Google Forms where I asked about the social media experience, like how some people marketed or felt how well some of the social media platforms work for them. Then I also created a small guide for some of the social media platforms where I shared some advice and tips that I also found from other older guides, or I got from indie developers some advice, and also by looking at their platforms myself and seeing what still works. I also created a small tool to edit and create small video clips, because video format is the most popular format for marketing and social media. But I won't really be talking about the tool today, because this still needs a lot of work. So the survey, I might stand maybe here, 14 participants. Development, Discord, and channels. So over half of the participants had already actually released their game. There were pretty diverse games, even though still adventure genre was the most popular one, and the puzzle one as well. But most of them were planning to release the games on PC, but also some other platforms. But I think actually everyone was planning to release their games on a PC. So, for example, I researched which obviously. Facebook and TikTok, not so much. I'm not sure if you can see. But I mean, TikTok might be also because it's so new and not a lot of developers have gone into that yet. So one of the things was what were the platforms useful for you. So for getting wishlinks and getting traffic, for example, Facebook was surprisingly good, while for getting wish lists, obviously Reddit seemed to be the most popular one. TikTok, some people got a little bit of traffic, but I think with TikTok, plenty of participants had bad experiences because they had only used TikTok less than 3 months and maybe like posted a couple of posts, so they hadn't really seen a proper outcome yet. For connecting with the community and other developers, obviously Twitter is the best one. While, for example, as we know with Reddit, not so much. TikTok was actually good for connecting with the community, but no one really used it to connect with other developers. As I said, with TikTok, it seemed like a lot of people had bad experiences, and they Instagram, but it might be because of the algorithms and that it's mostly people only find you through the following, and it's kind of difficult to So another thing was how much effort did it take to make a good post, in their opinion. And obviously with YouTube, everyone agreed that it takes a lot of effort to make a good post. While, for example, surprisingly with Reddit, they found that it doesn't take that much effort, which was quite surprising to me because while I read the extra comments that they left was everyone's like, oh, if you go to Reddit, go there with thick skin, it's such a scary place. So it was very surprising to me that actually they found that it doesn't take that much effort to make good posts there. So with Reddit, obviously, because it doesn't take a lot of effort, it was worth it. While, for example, with TikTok, no one was really sure if the effort that they put in paid out. And YouTube, it seemed like most of the time the effort that they had to put in to make a good post seemed to pay off. So I created a guide for the like couple of social media platforms. I mean, if you can open it as well, it would be nice. But yeah, it was for Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Reddit, and Instagram. Right now, I haven't included YouTube and Twitch yet because they're different platforms. And for example, with YouTube, you need a lot more effort to create the videos and things. Unless you do YouTube Shorts and you pretty much post your TikToks or short versions of the videos. So for example, for each of the categories, I divided it into, for example, just a quick intro and then setting up, like how should you set up your account, then showing some examples maybe. You can keep going, yeah, scroll. Yeah, for example, what you can do, what you should do, what is useful there. Then again, some examples, and what you shouldn't do, and then more examples of quite good posts on these platforms to give an idea of what a good post looks like. And so you can sort of look at it. Obviously, it might change over time, and that is something that a lot of the participants in my survey also said that there are a lot of guides, but they're all outdated. Or, for example, there aren't genre-specific guides, which can be sort of an issue. Right now, I don't really have genre-specific recommendations, but in the future, I plan to add that as well. But with the outdated issue, what I did was that I created it on the website, where you can also right now comment if there is anything else new that you want to add. And also that I plan to keep an eye on it and update it I mean, obviously, I think I want to overall improve this whole site and make it look better. But right now, I think that's it, and thank you for listening. And if you have any questions, you can just contact me on Discord, email.